Can I just level with y'all real quick? It always feels like that we take 2 steps forward and then like a step back, or sometimes it feels like we take a step forward and then 2 steps back. It seems like we never correctly move in the direction that would benefit the game the most, especially since we've been getting more and more same time release stuff. It feels just a little off, just a tiny bit when it comes to the overall health of the game. The release schedule when it comes to the Grand Summoners units. Now, I'm not saying that we should have an accelerated release schedule. You know, we don't want to get story units before the story chapter is actually out. We don't like that. But it is a little bit strange to me how it takes years before even we get some of these characters. Like, it was almost 2 years before we got Summer Rivi and Dark Rosetta. And I even looked at what the time difference was for Summer Mira, but I'll put it up on screen right now. It feels like a lot of these GS units that are from a saga, or they're from like a specific event or a seasonal banner or whatever have you, they do not come out on global. Lark. You guys remember whenever Lark came out? We still don't have Lark in Grand Summoners Global. And heavens forbid, we don't even know when we're going to get Minosaurus High. Like, by the time we get Minas herself, we may have someone else that just completely power creeps her, which is terrible. Not just for like the game itself, but like if you're someone who really enjoys GS units, you know, you're not just like a crossover guy. You don't only summon for the crossovers. You like summoning for the GS specific characters too. We said before GS was a crossover game, but in Global, it truly feels like we only ever see the crossover banner shine. And every time a GS unit releases, they're always a bit too old. They're a bit behind the rest of the pack, which this could be an entirely another video on its own, but I won't lie. A lot of the GS units just seem to be kind of underperforming to some crossover counterparts, unless we talk about the specific outliers like Ultimate Paladin Roy, which you can say that's a good thing, you say it's a bad thing. I'm just gonna tell you right now, I think it's a little bit dumb just for the simple fact that crossover units are so limited. Let's say like a new player joins in, they see that Hoka is like the best character in the tier list, and they're like, you know what, I really want to get that guy because I know he'll help out my account. But we know that he's coming back this year, hopefully, but let's say he wasn't. They would be endlessly waiting for this one unit and never really getting hyped for like any of the GS releases because they know that they're not nowhere near as good as these said crossover characters. Because there's no one else that is a similar unit to Hoka. On JP recently, we got Shala, which she is somewhat similar because she provides like a 300% damage buff, art gauge, all that type of stuff. But it's still not like a 1-to-1, right? And heavens forbid, we don't know when that unit's coming out to global. We don't. We have no clue. This already took up a big chunk of the video, but this isn't even everything, chat. A 2-week dead period at the end of every crossover, or I'd even say in the middle of a crossover. It's like a week of nothing half the time. Like, sure, we get new events and new units like Summer Mirror and stuff like that, but these characters are so old, it's hard to get hype for them. I still find it mind-boggling to me that there are not co-op lobbies for the summer event right now. Also, resets aren't enough, man. The fact that resets don't add anything else in a lot of other games, if there's like a reset or something like that, once we get to the inevitable second half of a crossover, usually something happens, like a new version of the event comes out, a new stages come out, like something else happens to kind of incentivize players to come back. These guys do the bare minimum half the time, and I don't want to sound so negative, but like it's becoming more and more apparent with every single new crossover release. On the same topic of this, I think it is insane to me that if you do not get the unit, you have nothing to do. The event is not exciting. The event is lackluster and boring in most cases. It's the same thing that you've done over 100 times already. And the fact that we do not utilize Grand Crusade in crossovers is insane to me. Like, why not have it to where there's specific fusion equips that you can get when a crossover event comes out? There's unique Grand Crusade maps for that crossover. Wouldn't it be crazy if whenever we got like Fate, for an example, well, it wasn't out at the time, but you know, just work with me here. The Grand Crusade map was like us going through Camelot or Babylonia. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been dope. And we would fight bosses maybe inspired by the Fate universe. Same thing with Dan. We could fight like the aliens and stuff like that. How is it that we didn't have a single alien fight in this entire crossover? We just fought the crossover units. Why are we reusing assets all over the place? Even in like the Specialty X Hyper, we just fought Okaru. Are we not gonna fight like anything else? Which this leads perfectly into the next topic. There's just nothing to look forward to. BBS had like a set schedule for everything. We knew when the banners were coming out, relative time frame. We knew that there was gonna be an epic raid every month. We do the guild quest was resetting every week. Sinkaimon would come kind of towards the middle/end of the month. It was something to look forward to. You could have planned, oh, I want to make sure that I'm on to do this type of stuff whenever it drops. In GS, that doesn't happen. There is no schedule. And it is crazy to me that we have been going on for 7, almost 8 years, and there is no schedule. There is no structure on the Grand Summers Global side. The most that we have is that every 2 weeks, we pretty much get a new banner. That's kind of like the rough timeline. Every 2 weeks is a new banner. There's not like every month, hey, this month is going to be raids. Next month is going to be mines or something like that. We don't get that. Mines and raids are once every year at this point. Grand Crusade, we haven't got a new chapter for that. And that game was just going to start collecting dust like the others. And the entire thing just feels lazy. It feels lazy. It feels lousy. It feels like the dev team is getting a bit complacent on the global side. It just seems like the global team doesn't really try to keep people interested, and it's just constantly pumping out crossovers. I understand that that probably is what generates the most money, but like, what does that do for us, the players? Because there's so many games coming out in the future, so many games, and so many games that are already out that can easily pull them away from your game. The gacha market is so oversaturated and it's so competitive. What do you think is making them stick around? Literally just the sunk cost fallacy at this point, isn't it? And let's not even talk about the elephant in the room. GS is getting old. It is a very old game, and because of that, it needs to innovate. It has to evolve. And if it doesn't, it's just gonna get left in the dust. It truly is. I'm not saying to change the entire thing, but like, we've been talking about summon animation since like the 3rd anniversary, and we still haven't got new summon animations. It's just some stuff to think about. Some stuff that was on my mind. I didn't mean for this video to come off as super negative or anything like that. If it did, it's just I feel so strongly about this game. But you guys just let me know how y'all feel. It's not completely doom and gloom. It's not like I absolutely despise the game. It's just some frustrations that I've had over the last couple of months, even weeks. It's kind of definitely been elevated within the last few weeks. By the way, you guys let me know how you all feel down below in the comment section. Thank you all again for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, check out this video. It's a great video. Click on it. I'll meet you over there. One more thing before you leave though, don't forget to drink water.